Hello everyone. Today we are from Group 10. We'll be presenting on a very serious industrial accident, the West Fertilizer plant explosion. A bit for the introduction, on April 17, 2013, in West Texas, USA, a fire escalated into an explosion of ammonium nitrate fertilizer. The impact was tragic. 15 lives lost, including 12 emergency responders, and over 260 were injured.
In 2012, the company reported to the EPA that it was storing over 550,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate, but there were no fire protection systems in place. On April 17, 2013, smoke was seen at 7:29 p.m. The local fire department responded, but they were not trained to handle hazardous materials. Just 20 minutes later, at 7:50 p.m., 20 to 30 tons of ammonium nitrate exploded, and this killed 15 people, including 12 firefighters, injured over 260 others, and damaged more than 150 buildings. In 2016, the ATF confirmed that the fire was intentionally set, and the Chemical Safety Board found several failures in safety rules and regulations. Lastly, emergency response and cause of explosion. The firefighters who responded were not properly trained or prepared for such a dangerous situation. As the fire grew worse, the stored ammonium nitrate exploded with a force equal to 7.5 to 12.5 tons of TNT. The explosion was mainly caused by poor storage practices, no fire protection systems, and finally deliberate arson. This tragedy shows how important it is to have stronger safety rules, better zoning laws, and trained emergency teams to prevent similar disasters in the future.
Next, for technical and engineering issues, the first one is inadequacies in plant construction design and storage method. This is because of the ammonium nitrate powder was stored in combustible structures. And the second one is because of the storage conditions that have extreme confinement and inadequate ventilation that can make it more prone to detonation. And the last one is because of the lack of fire barrier walls that can cause a fire to spread quickly. This is why the importance of professional oversight in engineering design, plant layout, and safety planning areas in this case. In Malaysia, it is already stated in Engineers Act 1967, only professional engineers are legally permitted to submit engineering plans, designs, reports, or study. This is to reduce the risk related to plant layout and have better storage methods and material handling might have been properly identified, evaluated, and mitigated. The second one is lack of preparedness and regulatory oversight. The explosion has caused the lives of 15 people, including the local volunteer firefighters. This is because of the RMP failed to mention the presence of ammonium nitrate. The second one is because of the plant had not been inspected by OSHA since 1985 and was wrongly classified as a retail facility. And the last one is because of the fire department was not required to retrain specifically for hazardous chemical fires. This incident may be because of the involvement of unqualified personnel who have acted without the necessary professional credentials or engineering oversight to assess the risk of ammonium nitrate effectively. It is stated in Malaysia Engineers Act 1967 that prohibits unregistered individuals to carry out engineering responsibilities and have strict penalties including fines and imprisonment for those who have false representation, unauthorized practice or negligence. This is to ensure that only competent and certified professionals were involved, thereby that can possibly prevent this incident.
My name is HULDYAH, and I will now proceed with the next part of the presentation, which is the ethical reasons for failures. First, failure to disclose hazardous conditions. In the West Fertilizer explosion, the company stored over 500,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate but reported only half that amount. This underreporting violated the ethical duty of honesty under the BEM Code of Conduct. Engineers must provide accurate data to protect public safety. Under Malaysia's Engineers Act, this kind of misconduct is grounds for disciplinary action. If they had followed the rules, the danger could have been properly managed. Next, disregard for risk assessments and safety audits. The company ignored repeated safety warnings and did nothing after being cited for fire hazards. This goes against the BEM Code, which says engineers must act if safety is at risk. The Engineers Act also empowers the board to take action when public safety is ignored. Ethically, the engineers should have insisted on action or reported the risk to the authorities. Finally, failure to communicate with authorities and emergency responders. Emergency responders weren't told about the dangers of the chemicals on site. Sadly, 12 of them died in the explosion. BM Code clearly says engineers must not withhold information when it endangers the public. Legally, failing to warn first responders can lead to serious consequences under Malaysian law. Engineers should have shared all hazard information and coordinated emergency plans.
To prevent similar incidents in the future, the first step is improving how hazardous chemicals like ammonium nitrate are stored. Facilities should use non-combustible buildings, proper ventilation, and keep the chemical away from flammable substances. Following safety codes like NFPA 400 can help reduce the risk of fire and explosion. Next, emergency response also needs to improve. Firefighters and first responders must be trained specifically for ammonium nitrate fires. Clear warning signs like "Do not fight fire" should be used, and regular safety drills should be conducted with local fire departments to make sure everyone knows that what to do in case of emergency. The third recommendation is to strengthen laws and inspections. Facilities like West Fertilizer should never be exempt from strict safety rules just because of how they're classified. Government agencies need to carry out regular checks and enforce national safety standards. In addition, land use planning must be improved. Dangerous chemical sites should not be located near homes, schools, or hospitals. There should be a safe distance between these sites and the public areas to protect people in case something goes wrong. Lastly, promoting ethics and accountability is key. Engineers must follow their code of ethics and always put public safety first. If they see something unsafe, they should speak up, even if it means going against management. Companies should also create a safe environment where reporting safety concerns is encouraged and protected. In the end, ethics and safety go hand in hand. In conclusion, the West Fertilizer explosion was preventable. The main problems were poor storage, lack of emergency planning, and weak enforcement of safety rules. Engineers and management failed to protect the public. Moving forward, we must design safer facilities, train responders properly, and follow strong laws. Most importantly, we must always remember that protecting lives comes before anything else. That is all from our group. Thank you.